And now, it's time for another Dice Tower review with Tom Vasel.
Hey folks, I'm Tom Vasel, and today we're taking a look at a game called Pioneers. Oh, the Wild West. Go out and settle the areas. And in this game, you're going to have some pioneers, and they're going to go out and build frontier towns. Okay, we don't care about that because really that's just a thin veneer. This is a game where you're going to be building a little network here of roads and trying to get pioneers to give you special abilities. It's an interesting, fairly light game. Let me show you how it works. So here's the game board. There's a bunch of different cities on the board. Each of these has a different kind of pioneer in that place. Each one's a different color, although there's some wild ones. A stagecoach is placed up here in the northeast. Each player gets their own player board, $2 to start. A stagecoach that shows 5 of the 6 different colored pioneers, and you're going to put one of your little dudes in each one, and the game begins. On a player's turn, the first thing they're going to do, they're going to follow your board. Pretty much tells you what to do. So the first thing you do is you get your income. So you get $3. Unless you, for each banker you have up to 2, you get an extra $1. Then you can take one action. You can build one road for $2, 2 roads for $5, or you can buy a stagecoach. If you get more of these people, the purple folk, you can do more than one action. When you build a road, you can essentially build a road anywhere as long as someone else doesn't have a road there. So I might build a road here. If red builds a road, they might build one here and then here. And then later on, I might build a road here. It doesn't really matter where you build the roads. When you buy a stagecoach, you're going to buy one of these stagecoaches from the bottom of the board. So this one here costs $1. This one costs $4. When you buy them, they're going to move over. When you buy a stagecoach, you're going to put people on it equal to the number of spaces that are on this. So I would place 2 of my green dudes on this stagecoach. Then after that, you're going to move the stagecoach here on the board, the main one here, and you have to move to a spot that has one of these tiles on it. And once you get to one of those spots, you have to stop. So the first player has 2 choices, red or yellow. That's it. If they go to red, they're going to get the red one. Then the next person would have 3 choices. They go to yellow, green, or they go back around this way to yellow. So your options will change as the game goes by. When you travel, you have to pay money for each road length you travel on. If you travel on a spot with nothing, you pay that $1 to the bank. If you travel over your own, it's free. If you travel over someone else's, you have to pay them a coin for each one that you travel over. Once you're done, you'll take the tile and you can get rid of, you have to be able to get rid of a guy who has that color on your board. So I have a red here. I would get rid of the red and take this tile. You will then offer each other player an opportunity to join you. Each player may also stick someone in that thing. Well, only one player can do it, but each player has an opportunity to do it. If they do so, they will place 2, and they also have to be able to remove someone from the stagecoach who's the same color as the one you put down. Now, the reason you're removing people from a stagecoach is when you remove them all from a stagecoach, you will immediately score this many points and flip it over to show it's done, which also gives you $1. So removing people from stagecoaches, some stagecoaches are smaller and will get you fewer points. Others will get you more points, but you have to remove more people from them. Also, when you remove a tile, you're going to get the benefits of that tile. I've already mentioned that the bankers and the saloons go here and will give you more money and more actions. But the blue tiles let you put down a free road. And in fact, you can put down a free road right next to somebody else who has a road already on the board. A wild tile, you can take off any color, and instead of getting their special ability, you get $3. A farmer, when you place a spot where there's a farmer, you can place all your farmers if you want to that are on all your stagecoaches. So if you have multiple farmers, you can put them all out. If you put out a prospector, you'll take a gold nugget, which at the end of the game is going to be worth between 3 and 5 points. And when you take a red tile, you can just pick any other person you want and remove them from an empty spot. Red is good to clear out your stagecoaches more quickly. This will continue to go until the pile here of stagecoaches is depleted. This pile is going to change based on from game to game, and then whoever has the most points is the winner of the game. The board is very nice. Very easy to tell, even if you don't, if you're colorblind, the tiles have different pictures on them. And the stagecoach and the roads, it's your typical stuff. Everything is really well done. The board itself has two sides to it. I'm showing you the 4-player side. This is the 2 to 3 player side. And if you're playing with 2 players, then you will cover up some of the cities on the eastern coast with these tiles just to block them off. So the board is going to change from 2 to 4 players, and you also have fewer stagecoaches if you're playing with fewer players. Other than that, it's a little generic, how everything looks, but I don't really know what else they could have done. You have these little cowboys. These player boards are great. They tell you exactly what to do on your turn. Very simple. So good components. Now you might be wondering, is that it? Well, not really. There's a couple other ways that you score points in this game. Each stagecoach, you get 1 point for each empty spot at the end of the game. It's not a lot, but that's some points. But also at the end of the game, your roads, you get a point for your biggest network of connected roads for each person in that connected network, which can really make farmers very useful. Now that connected network of roads is going to really change based on the number of players. This game scales from 2 to 4, but it plays very differently. A 2-player game is going to be much more tactical and strategic back and forth. A 4-player game, there's going to be a lot more chaotic to the game, and it's going to be harder to build the big networks because people are going to be able to stop you. Not necessarily stop you, but they're just building their own road connections. You could build roads out farther ahead and then hope by the time you get there that you'll be able to connect to those roads later on, have a network. And so it's interesting. I don't know where I like it best. I might want to say 3 players is the sweet spot for this game, but I don't dislike it at any of the player counts. But I just want you to realize that there is a fairly big difference between the 2 player counts. Now, I like the game. I think it's a very fun game. There's a lot going on, and I like how light it is. I like the stagecoaches. I like the special abilities. I like pretty much everything about it. The only thing I'm not a big fan of is I feel like the purple, the saloons I think they are, those tiles, if you can get one of those early, you have a pretty big jump up on everybody else, especially if you manage to get a purple and a banker, which gives you that extra gold and the purple. And you say, well, you shouldn't let someone get those. Well, someone is going to get that, right? Someone's going to get that special ability. It's going to happen. There's going to be one, maybe the first player, it's going to be right there. You can't stop them from getting it. And if you are able to build 2 things every turn, sure, you have money that other people, you'll have less money to do that. But still, being able to get more stagecoaches, which gets more on the board, it just seemed like it gave you a leg up early. And I'm not sure if there's a counter to that. I definitely think that there should be maybe an extra coin or 2 given to people who don't go first. But that's kind of an interesting dynamic. I don't think all the powers are equal. The farmer one seems amazing. But for the farmer one to work really well, you need to have a couple stagecoaches with green so that you can put them all in one city. And then hopefully that city is part of your network. Hopefully you'll build around that network. There's nothing really mind-blowing about this game, right? This isn't going to be a game where people look at it and go, wow, that's an innovative thing. There's nothing really that innovative about this game, but it plays very well. And I do like that someone else can go into your city and you get paid money for them doing that. And as the game goes by, especially in a 4-player game, this will happen often because people will want to, A, connect to their own network, and B, get these people out of their stagecoaches. And then you get money for that. So the money flow in this game is not very tight. It's not too hard to get money when you're getting 3 to 5 coins every turn. And when you finish a stagecoach, you get a coin. So there's, and anytime someone uses one of your roads, so there's a lot of money that's kept in the system anyway. There's not a lot more to say about this. This is a light game, maybe along the lines of Ticket to Ride. Actually, it's probably a little bit lighter than Ticket to Ride, but I think that this is a good thing. A lot of people, this is kind of a gateway game where you can come in and say, hey, try this out. It's really easy. There's what stagecoach you want to buy. What do the special abilities do? Your board that you have is really helpful. It's a nice little lightweight game. Certainly one worth checking out. Pioneers.
Thanks so much for watching the Dice Tower videos. Find more great videos and reviews as well as our top-rated audio podcast at Dicetower.com. You can also find other great shows at DicetowerNetwork.com. I'm Eric Summerer, and you've been watching The Dice Tower. The Dice Tower is sponsored by Cool Stuff Inc., where you can find great games for great prices. Cool stuff in stock. Check them out at CoolStuffInc.com.
Shut the door!